Bear down Chicago Bears in a massive, massive move. The Chicago Bears have now traded off Justin Fields to the Pittsburgh Steelers, which paves the way for the next big move. The next big move being, of course, Caleb Williams becoming the new quarterback for the Chicago Bears. Look, it's probably not the move that most of us wanted, but we did find out that Justin Fields was worth a 6th round pick to Ryan Poles and the Pittsburgh Steelers that could become a 4th rounder because it's not even a 2024 pick. So there you have it. This is where the Chicago Bears are right now. We do have a little bit, it is a little bit new. I think there's a lot of people who are going to be angry about it, but I mean, let's face it. We knew something was going to happen and something did have to happen. And, one of the problems here obviously is a lot of people just saw too much potential, number one, in Caleb Williams, and number two, an easier time financially for the Bears to continue to build. So now there's your offense for 2024. You've got Caleb Williams. We've got Keenan Allen. We don't have an all-star cast, but I mean, we do have a pretty good team. DeAndre Swift, Cole Kmet, Gerald Everett. You got Matt Joyner, probably not a starter, but a sub. You got Ryan Bates, probably not a starter again, but a sub. You have Coleman Shelton, most likely the opening day center. So there's some serious talent on the team. Will just not be guided by Justin Fields, who has been traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So if you haven't already, and you're just now kind of finding out what's going on here or exactly what it is that's happened, then my apologies. But Justin Fields was traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers for a 2025 6th round pick that could become a 4th rounder. So here we are. And guys, I don't really know what to say in this context. Maybe we have to go cry one away or something like that. Or maybe we got to put some dresses on and welcome the new Bears quarterback. Now, by the way, we should point out that the most likely scenario is Caleb Williams. But there is also the possibility. I don't want to say a probability. I want to say a possibility. There's a possibility that they could still be drafting down and they could be looking for somebody else. So I think that we're locked in on Caleb Williams. There should be reason to believe at this point that the Justin Fields trade was just, this is what they could get. Maybe he becomes, look, I assume that Russell Wilson is going to be their starter and that Justin Fields is going to be the backup. So, that's just the way that I see it. Now, we do remember that he was coveted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. However, now we have to look at, and importantly, now we have to figure out, like, where do the Bears fit in the draft. This is going to be a little more complicated of a draft because the options, the available picks, the selections that were going to be available, they're not there now. So we're going to give up, I think it is my opinion, because you don't have any draft picks at this point, or almost no draft picks. You only have 4. One of them is reserved, of course, we're assuming, of course, for Caleb Williams. Now you have 3 other draft picks, and if that is the case, and look, guys, we should not say that Caleb Williams is going to be a bust. I mean, he is going to be the Bears quarterback. So we should not. I mean, you can sting, by the way, because you want Justin Fields. Like, for example, I don't like the fact that we did this. I think that's I think it's a bad move. It's my opinion that it's a bad move. However, it's going to cost. I think I said this earlier today. It's 60 something million dollars to keep Justin Fields, and it's 36 million for Caleb Williams. So there's just, you know what? There's just no way. We're wishing as fans, we're wishing. We think that we understand that the Chicago Bears want to win now. It feels like we're in the direction of wanting to win now. I mean, listen, here's the thing. If you have given yourself every opportunity here, then here's what most likely plays out right now. What likely plays out right now is maybe Brett Ripien or Tyson Bagent starts the season. Maybe they may throw Caleb in, by the way, in the beginning. We may see Caleb Williams hit the ground, and we might see, by the way, I do want to see this. I do want to say this. We might see a fantastic offense. You know, if you're wondering, I'm joking about the dress part. I put him up there because controversy creates clicks. You know what I mean? Like, that's the reason. The reason that he's wearing a dress in that picture is because I pulled Justin Fields out of the picture and I put Caleb Williams in. And what better way to do it than for people to be like, "Hey, who the fuck do you think you are?" You know, the Bears quarterback, blah 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 blah. So this is all about controversy. At the end, what matters is Caleb Williams most probably is the Chicago Bears quarterback. They are just clearing the way right now so that there's no debate about it. And they made the move, 4 days into free agency. So, I mean, here we are. Now, what I think is going to happen is pretty simple. I feel like Caleb Williams should be the starter going into the first game. When that happens, 6 or 7 games into the season, he'll get quote unquote exposed, as all quarterbacks do. How he adapts to that, how the offensive coordinator adapts to that, and how he catches on and how quickly he understands his playbook is going to be a real indicator about where the rest of the Bears season goes. Now, no matter what, if it's Caleb Williams at quarterback, if it's Tyson Bagent to start, it doesn't matter. The Bears are a playoff team. So here's the thing to understand. No matter what you think of these moves, the Bears are a playoff team. Now, if we take, for example, whatever's going on with Caleb, if he struggles just a little bit around midseason, that doesn't mean he's not going to, good recs, bad recs, good recs. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't mean that he's not going to turn it on towards the end of the season. And look, he might be the Super Bowl guy, right? And Corey Rogers says they didn't do right by Justin, and that's fair enough to say. I mean, they really did not do right by Justin, but there was no right by Justin to do that. Like, there was no market for him. There was no way that he was going to get what there was just no something out there that was going to. This is about the Bears. I like Justin Fields, but this is about the Chicago Bears. It's not what's best for Justin. It's what's best for the Chicago Bears. And in this context, and in this instance, Ryan Poles decided that what's best for Justin Fields is not being on the Chicago Bears, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how else to put it. But this is the team that we have right now. Now, here's the thing, guys. I don't look. We're going to have to embrace Caleb Williams because he is going to be, I mean, at least for the next 3 to 4 years and potentially the next 10 or 15 years, he could be the quarterback for the Chicago Bears. Now, look, is he the generational talent in the draft? Nope. It's still Marvin Harrison. So when you hear me get a little bit salty about this move, it's not because of it really is not because of Justin Fields. I like Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields gave us the best opportunity to win immediately. But the reason I don't like this is because I have a feeling we are now going to whiff on the guy that we absolutely needed to have in my opinion. So, and that was Marvin Harrison Jr. So, what are you having? What do you have to trade? What do you have that would allow the Chicago Bears to move from number 9 to number 3, I want to say, or maybe even number 4 in order to get Marvin Harrison Jr.? You know what I mean? I don't know. And I mean, we got to, and by the way, like here's the defense will not be better. I think we should recognize at this point that unless let's be very clear here, because tomorrow's video is actually going to be about the defense. So we're going to take whatever's available. Number 1 is going to be Caleb Williams. Number 9, hopefully, is going to be Dallas Turner. Now, that's going to be the best possible outcome. And if that's the best possible outcome, that's who we are. I mean, that's the way that it's going to be. Now, when you go down further in the draft, hopefully they take some defensive tackles because they're going to have to do something. Gervon Dexter, there's not enough. There's not enough going on this team. So Chicago Bears also just signed another defensive end free agent. So let me give you the update on that one. They signed, son of a bitch, it was Jay something or Jake something just a few minutes ago. Like it was just a couple of minutes ago. God damn it. All right, it looks like, there we go, Jake Martin. We got Jake Martin. That's the guy. So he's a defensive end. He hasn't done much in the league when you look at it in an overall context. However, there's a very intriguing sort of thing when you look at his statistics. He only got 85 tackles in 6 years in the NFL. So when you look at this on paper, you're wondering, like, what are we doing? However, if you look at his stats, they're very weird and kind of, it's intriguing here what he looks like, right? In his career, he only has 84 tackles, 49 solo, and 35 assisted, but he's got 18 sacks. So, you know, he's done a better job of sacks than somebody with 84, 85 tackles. You know what I mean? Like he's really not. Fumbles forced, 7 fumbles. And guys, you know, that's over a bunch of years. So, you know, this is probably not an upgrade in any way, but maybe it's a body to throw at, you know, maybe it's, but he's just not been, this is his stats for the year, by the way. These are his recent game stats. And he was in NFL Frankfurt, by the way, for a period of time. I don't know what all that was, but I mean, like, as you kind of, you know, wind through here, you don't, you know, he hasn't done that much this season. Had 1 sack right here, 1 sack right here against Houston. So he had 2 sacks last year. Not the best of moves for the defensive end position. So, you know what I mean? Like I you know, I don't know. And here, EcoBeam says Jake Martin is quick, right? But he's quick to not get any sacks. He's quick to not really do too much. So maybe, just maybe, as a starter, if he is the starter, in fact, maybe that he'll have more. He'll have a little bit more stat wise. I mean, you know, this one I'm not intrigued by. But hey, man, what if the guy balls out? You know, what if he's just been that guy that's been on the wrong spot and the wrong teams, and you know, there we are. I mean, what if, you know what I mean? And you know, this is to me not a good move. But here's the thing: if this is just a replacement if this guy was just a replacement for Dominique Robinson, nice. You know what I mean? Like, that could be what's happening here. Maybe we're still just filling in the back, so to speak. You know, maybe we're just adding some depth and stuff like that. Maybe Dominique Robinson gets released in a day or two. We start to see some kind of move right there. And then that means that he's just replacing a backup role, like a third string or something like that. But at this point, we have no defensive end. Maybe you're just kind of planting some seeds for that room. I mean, that's the best I can say. You know what I mean? Like he's just an off the bench kind of player. Hopefully he's not the starter. If he is, maybe he balls out. If he's not, I don't think he is. But if we'll see what happens. So anyway, that leads us to Asher Bears offense. And now I didn't get a chance. This is from earlier today. We went through Justin or Caleb. This is what the offense is going to look like. Just imagine, if you will, that we're going to pop Caleb Williams into that QB1 slot right now. So that's going to be the play. That's going to be the move going forward for the Chicago Bears. And I mean, guys, listen. And slot is not going to be Marvin Harrison Jr. now. There's just no way that. I mean, there's no draft capital to make that happen. So what we would have to do is you have Caleb in address because you are sour. Has nothing to do with clicks. No, I have Caleb in address because I don't have Caleb in address. Caleb has Caleb in address. I'm just posting the picture because it's going to bring people in who are going to cry in my chat and say, you have Caleb in address because you're sour. I mean, yeah, you're right. I am sour because I don't think that this is a brilliant move. But I mean, if other people do, and if 19% of you do, that's cool with me. You guys can enjoy it. I mean, and because he's the quarterback of the Chicago Bears, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be happy for Caleb Williams because he's the quarterback for the Chicago Bears. I'm a Chicago Bears fan before I'm a Justin Fields fan. You're the one that cares so much about Justin Fields that you can't stop posting. He's terrible. Justin's terrible. Get off Justin's D. I mean, Jesus Christ, let it go, man. Caleb Williams is your starting quarterback now. Quit crying about Justin Fields. Jesus Christ. Woo. You sound like a baby. All right, so anyway, we have to get rid of Marvin Harrison Jr. He's out. We got to get rid of Justin Fields. He's out. So we do have some pieces that will need to pop into play here. As a matter of fact, let's go see how let me try something here. I'm gonna pop. We're gonna pop. Yeah, I think we can do that. All right, so we can stop sharing this one, and then we're going to present over here. Let me see if I can do this here. Boom. All right. So this is where the sausage is made, if you will. This is where we make the thumbnails and all of that kind of shit right now. We use Canva. So we're going to take slot MHJ. We're going to take him out for the moment until we have clarification. And we're going to go with Tyler Scott. Now, we're not, I don't think we're sold on Tyler Scott because it doesn't really matter at this point, but he's the guy in that position. Now, we're assuming at this point, and we may not be right, but I think that we are for sure, that it will be Caleb Williams. So now we have to grab a Caleb Williams header, and we'll make this little change here. And by the way, how they do it on a Saturday, like just it was Saturday night hanging out, and then boom, there it goes. And it's by the way, in politicking, that's what they call like the Friday dump, where they whatever happens, they dump the news like on a Friday night. So the news is already done. So there's nobody out there to talk about it, nobody out there to say anything about it. You know what I mean? Like that's the way that you do it. So this is basically Ryan Poles not wanting to hear anybody for the moment talking about it. Like he doesn't want to. Like I'm not trying to hear this shit from you guys. I don't want you to tell me how to do my job. You know what I mean? So so here we go. All right. So we're gonna pop in Caleb and reduce the shoulder size. I was doing it full on most of them, and then I had, I got to move the shoulders around. so that they look the right size, if you will, when we do that. But now we got Caleb Williams here, like this one right here. Like we got to move the shoulders in and the shoulders in, and then we got to pop that in there. And then it looks a little bit better that way. Like you see here, Gerald Everett, like his shoulders are so wide, but it's because I did that too. I didn't do it enough to Cole Kmet. And I think that it, like, if it comes out here, like, I don't know, man, I think I screwed Cole Kmet up really bad. Or maybe we'll just move that guy in. There we go. Close enough. All right. So Tyler Scott, we're going to pop him in as well. He's going to be, for the moment. And by the way, I don't think there's any chance that Tyler Scott is the slot receiver when the season starts. I just don't see that. But that's the way it looks right now. So we'll pop this out and we'll throw that in the old save bucket. And now I think we've got, this really probably is most likely, again, it's still 12 players, but it's going to be the starting lineup for the team. So give me 1 second to pop that out, get rid of that. Boom. And then this is the old one. And then this right here will be the new one. All right, perfect. All right, so there we go. And add that to the station. There it is. God damn it, that's the wrong one. There we go. All right, so I got it right. So now we got you know what? I can't do anything it's the same thing. Like when I was doing this, I was trying to get the right something, you know what I mean? I was trying to get the and yeah, DJ Moore looks like a midget by comparison to everybody else. But you know what I mean? Like I was trying. What I did was I was doing it, and I just put DJ Moore in, and I was putting the roster together. And as I'm putting the roster together, I'm like, you know what? These guys look like shit. Like I need to work this out because God damn it, now you got me looking at DJ Moore. Like, man, like I am selling him way short. Like, Jesus Christ, let's cut his shoulders a little bit. And put him in the grown-up club too. Boom. And then, all right, there we go. All right. So I think he's real boy size. All right, check it out. Anyway, it was just an idea, by the way, to get these headshots. And the headshots, it turns out, here's the crazy part. You would think that the headshots would be real consistent. They're not. They're absolutely not. Like in no way are the headshots that we do on this very consistent at all when you're using this stuff. So here we go one more time now. All right, now. All right, so now DJ Moore is the size of a grown-up. I can't do anything about Caleb and DeAndre Swift. I'm not going to do it all right now. I'll get the sizes right, but you know, like one of these is like 400 by 600. The other ones are like 700 by 980. You know, all of them have like different. They're the profile pics from like ESPN or something like that. You know what I mean? So there we go. We've got full size DJ Moore on the clock now. So that's it. That's going to be your team. Again, I don't think that Tyler Scott is the guy. I feel like when we look at Tyler Scott, I feel like when we're on the Tyler Scott portion, I think that he's probably going to end up replaced by somebody. You know, I can't see him being that slot guy. So, and Jesse, here's the thing, man. We should be, no matter what, support Caleb Williams. I mean, even if you don't like him, he's still a Chicago Bears quarterback. Or, I mean, he's definitely gonna be, right. But like, I mean, we shouldn't be shitting on the people who are going to get us to that dance next year, whether you like it or not. I mean, that does appear to be the guy. So, and we don't owe allegiance to Justin Fields. I thought that Justin Fields is the best option, that he would give us the best opportunity to win in this coming season, because I thought surrounding him with The right talent would give him that opportunity, and something there would happen, but it did not. So you know what I mean. So what we have to look at now is, how does this team line up? And look, I want to say this. We fixed the offensive line. Is Coleman Shelton the best option? Probably not. I mean, probably Jackson Powers Johnson, probably Connor Williams. Everybody else is pretty much signed. You know what I mean? So is Coleman Shelton the best option? No, but he's a solid option. And as long as he doesn't give up a bunch of sacks, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? Like so I think we've solidified, and we have some backups. We've got Ryan Bates. We got Maddie Pryor that we didn't have before. So there are positions here that we have a little more depth in than we had before. So this team is arguably much better. Now you take it a step further and you take that tight end position right there, the Gerald Everett position, and I think we did a fantastic job there. So, I mean, you look around, and is it the greatest team ever? No. But is it a good team? Yes. Again, the slot receiver position, I think we still need. And by the way, I think that now the focus becomes wide receivers. So don't be surprised if you see something along the lines of Caleb Williams at number 1, at number 9. That's your only option to trade down. So Ryan Poles, and I don't think Ryan Poles is lying to you about it. I think that if Dallas Turner is available at number 9, that we're taking Dallas Turner at number 9. And then that's going to be, let's move over here. This was going to be for tomorrow, but let's do it today. Then you have, an edge rusher here of Dallas Turner. And then you can have later on in the draft, you can pick up another defensive tackle. The only reason I was putting MHJ in there, Michael Hall Jr., was because, MHJ and then MHJ part 2, that was going to be funny, I thought, and it's not going to be now. So, what we're going to do there is probably Gervon Dexter. Gervon Dexter becomes the guy. So here we are. That's what the defense looks like. The offense, I still got to upload that. So for the moment, the offense is over here. And I mean, look, this is a fantastic team. I mean, you can be mad about Justin Fields being gone, but Caleb Williams, look, he didn't get here by accident. He's not the number 1 pick by accident, right? Everybody out there kind of sees this talent level in the guy. And just because we can point, and by the way, when I point out that he has 3 interceptions against Notre Dame, that's me saying I think Justin Fields is a better option, not me saying that Caleb Williams not good. When I say he's when I put the profile picture, when I put that he's wearing a dress, I don't give a shit about that. I do that because that's how you get clicks. Like you put Caleb in a dress out here, then that people know that you don't like the move, and you're questioning that this is probably not the greatest move for the team. And then they click in here and they hear me, and maybe they like me. If they don't, that's okay. You know what I mean? But here's the thing. It's Caleb Williams. I mean, that's pretty much the guy. So like him, don't like him, we better get used to him. Because now what I'm going to need is I'm going to need some pictures of Caleb Williams, because God damn it. Like, and it is a disaster. It is an unmitigated disaster. Like, let me show you, like, you guys are not going to believe this shit, right? Like, this is my, because, let's remove this here and let's pop this up real quick. I'm going to show you guys. This is my folder. This is the folder that I have on my computer, and I'm a grown ass man. This is what it looks like. I mean, maybe it's going to come up. Maybe won't. This is what my Chicago Bears folder looks like. It is just full of bullshit in here. Now, one thing I do have is a picture of Caleb Williams in a number 13 jersey. Let me pop that up on the screen here. It's the only one that I have that somebody put some art and effort into. So let me close that, and then let me share. Boom. There we go. So there we go. We've got people starting to do artwork and stuff like that to show Caleb Williams as a Bear. So as the days go by, my disastrous art folder will start to change a little bit. And to this point, like I hadn't put Caleb Williams. I don't think I've given him like an orange glow. Like if you go back and you look at the stuff that I like to do when I'm doing this, I mean, you can see it kind of in the first picture, which I'll go back to because hilarious. I'm goddamn hilarious. So Caleb, this is my first time putting Caleb Williams in orange. Most of the other times I'm putting him in white. You know what I mean? Because I have everybody who was potentially going to be that, I'd put them in white with no shadow in the background. And then when these guys, I have my own personal setups in my art program. So I got an orange halo around the Bears players. And then, so this is my first time actually putting him in that. So now I got to come up with a whole bunch of new art assets for the quarterback position. Got to get rid of all the Justin stuff. And I mean, guys, we just have to accept that Caleb Williams is that guy. Now, I don't like it. And I'm going to say it one more time. I think that the Bears, I think that there are so many different ways that I think this is going to backfire that I'm hoping that it does not, because no matter what, this is a playoff team. This is a playoff caliber team that we have. It's right there in front of us, guys. It's not even far away. It's not in the future. It's not building for some other time. It is right here, right now. We have the opportunity to go to the future with and have a big time quarterback. Like we have that opportunity. And I hope that Caleb ends up being that guy. You know what I mean? At this point, that's all you can do. Like you can't like why take a dump on your quarterback? Why, you know what I mean? Like why hate on the guy? He didn't do anything, by the way. Just for clarity here, it's not Caleb Williams that's done anything. It's Ryan Poles that made the move. Now, while we're on this subject, let's go over here, and now we're going to have to look at what this draft would actually look like. So let's pop in and let's do a quick draft, and we'll see, what does it look like right here. So now we're no longer trading here. So we're giving up all of those, and we're going with Caleb Williams as the number 1 guy. Now we have to decide what we're going to do with the number 9. Now, this we get 3 trade offers here. We could actually make trade offers with anybody else. Like, for example, the New York Jets are offering the number 10 pick and the number 72 pick. And then, Tampa Bay. This actually works out for me pretty well. So I'll take that. And then at the number 9, I've just picked up 1 draft pick. So it's a little bit lower. It's at 75, but it is a draft pick. So now if I'm doing the Ryan Poles, then I have to come back over here, and there's my guy, Dallas Turner, edge rusher out of Alabama. So I take that play right there, and now it is a long way before I get any draft picks here. So it does not look fantastic. However, I do have some options. So if I take this pick, and here's the thing, if I take this pick right now, and let's just say that I take this right here from Green Bay, 76 and 102. I got 2 offers here, 76 and 202 or 108 and 129. Shit. And I got the 75th pick, I'm pretty sure. So let's trade this so I have more draft capital. Yeah, I got number 75 here, and let's reject this trade. Now I've got a defensive tackle in Chris Jenkins that's still sitting out here, and I need a defensive tackle. So I do have some options here. I am making it's not great. Like I'm not balling out with it, but I did fill in. I did fill in the needed positions so far, which are really edge rusher, defensive tackle, and quarterback if you're making that argument. So we've got the makings of a potential. Now, if it's me, again, this is because it's me. I'm going to want another defensive tackle, which is going to be Mason Smith. I'm going to look down here. I would prefer Mekhi Wingo, and I don't know if I have any picks down here. Yeah, I got a pick at 122. He may not make it that long. I would like Mekhi Wingo, but I'm going to go with the best available. So we're going to take Mason Smith. We're going to take his partner in crime, if you will. Now, we have 2 defensive tackles, and now, what's the rest of it that we have to fit? Mason McCormick, we need an offensive guard. Let's pop in a guard. Let's reject any trades right here. Can we get a wide receiver? We can get Brendan Rice out of USC. Look, that's not, and look, I'm not saying that Brendan Rice is going to be the slot receiver. I'm not saying that he's going to be the slot receiver, but I am saying that we've got somebody there who can compete for the job. And that's as good as it's going to get for us right there. So now that we've completed it, this is what the completed draft is going to look like. So now we would have Caleb Williams, we would have Dallas Turner, Chris Jenkins, Mason Smith, Mason McCormick, and Brendan Rice. So, we picked up 6 former NFL quarterbacks like Jaden, better than Caleb. Go watch his film. I agree. I like Jaden Daniels. I think Jaden Daniels is a great quarterback. But just because 6 former NFL quarterbacks says that, what about the other 500 NFL quarterbacks? Does that mean that the other 494 think that Caleb Williams is better? You know what I mean? Like, that's, mathematically speaking, that's, not very many former NFL quarterbacks. So I don't know that makes it a thing. So anyway, so we end up with Caleb Williams, we end up with Dallas Turner, we end up with Chris Jenkins, Mason Smith, Mason McCormick, and Brendan Rice. That we really filled the holes, and we really plugged up the problem with the team. Again, we quarterback is settled at this point. We've done that. We still need a slot receiver, which of course that's that slot where MHJ was going to be. Now it's Brendan Rice. And look, the good thing is if in the event that this were to play out, then we picked up a guy that Caleb Williams already familiar with. Like he already played with this guy. You know what I mean? So now let's move on to the next portion, and that's the defense. So the defense, now we need a defensive tackle and we need an edge rusher, and we got both. We got Dallas Turner in this draft as an edge rusher, which is what I already had plugged in there anyway. And then we got Chris Jenkins from Michigan instead of MHJ Part 2. So there you have it. I mean, we've actually used the draft that we're given. We've actually used what we're given here, which is Caleb Williams, Dallas Turner, Chris Jenkins, Mason Smith, Mason McCormick, Brendan Rice. Does that improve the team? And then we have a 2025 Minnesota 3rd round, and we now have a 2025 6th round pick, potentially a 4th round pick. So, you know what I mean? No, the Bears aren't going to be a top 10. They're going to be a playoff team no matter what. They'll end up being a playoff team. They may be a 1st round exit, but if they were going to be a 1st round, look, and here's the thing: if they were going to be a 1st round exit, they were going to be a 1st round exit, most probably, whether it was Justin Fields or Caleb Williams. So it really doesn't. I mean, I like Justin Fields. I think he gives us the better shot to win. I honestly do, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to win with Caleb Williams. I mean, that's the quote unquote cheat code. So we're playing quote unquote cheat football. You know what I mean? We've got a team that we built. The team is built up. The team has created some depth in the last couple of trades to add to the ability to create a rotation. We don't have a rotation at edge rusher. We don't have a rotation at defensive tackle yet. However, we don't have well, and here we go. Those 6 NFL quarterbacks watched all the film of the top 5 quarterbacks. Has the other 500 plus? I don't know. Because you're the only one that's making this a thing. You know what I mean? Like there's 6 people in America who think Jaden Daniels is better. There's 6 people who played football. I mean, did they major in football? In like football analysis? I gotta think that they didn't. Like, just because they see it, sure. Because these are the 6 quarterbacks who say what you. This is just these 6 quarterbacks are saying what you want. That's it. Because you don't like Caleb Williams, and if you don't like Caleb Williams, just at least be honest and say I don't like Caleb Williams. The end. It's cool. Also, by the way, there was a rumor going around that the Bears are trading the 1st round pick to the Washington Commanders, and that the deal was quote unquote done already. I don't know if that's the case. Okay, so how the offensive line is not much better to overcome a rookie quarterback. I don't know how you're saying that because here's the offensive line now. Braxton Jones and Darnell Wright, nothing wrong with them at tackle position. Nothing wrong with Tevin Jenkins. Nothing wrong with Nate Davis. Coleman Shelton is a big upgrade over Lucas Patrick. Not only that, but Gerald Everett is also a very decent blocker on that line as well. And we like to run 2 tight end sets. Now I'm told going into this next season, DeAndre Swift is a better blocker from the running back position than Khalil Herbert was. So everything about this says we're fine. Everything about this, other than the Justin Fields portion, says that we're fine. I guess I should put up the other one since, like, God damn it. Boom. Let's pop to that one. There you go. All right, so that one's been fixed. So Tyler Scott. Tyler Scott. I mean, guys, Tyler Scott is the one weakness on this squad right here. And I'm gonna do that saying that Caleb Williams good enough. I mean, Caleb Williams is probably gonna win some games. Now, let me point something out. I think I need to point something out here. I liked Justin Fields for this because I thought Justin Fields has the experience. He has he's been in the NFL a little bit longer. I think we give him a better shot at winning if we end up in the playoffs, and I'm sure we're going to end up in the playoffs. But here's the thing: what if Caleb Williams is just calm, cool, and collected and does his thing? Right? He could end up being a really good quarterback. We've seen the tapes, and look, when you look at the tapes, and if I show you the tape or something like that, I'm just messing with it like a Caleb Maxey. We look at the bad parts. Like I said before, we look at the Notre Dame portion, and we're like, well, he threw 3 interceptions at Notre Dame, and he's 2-9 against teams, right? Well, against ranked teams. Well, what if I said USC sucked and that Lincoln Riley wasn't doing a great job? You know what I mean? So, I mean, in fairness, like here, this would be the one thing right here. I trust Poles, and I will support whoever's under center next season because I'm a Bears fan. But Poles did not do right by Fields. Bear down. I do agree with that, but it's not his obligation to do right by Fields. I mean, here's the thing. Justin Fields, did Justin Fields do right by us? I mean, for the city of Chicago, I think yes. I think that he was I think he was a great guy in the city of Chicago, and I don't like the fact that he's gone. However, there are games that he could have won that he didn't win. There are situations in which we had some opportunity and he did not stick the landing, if you will, when he could have or should have to improve his opportunity or what the Chicago Bears, I look, I don't know what to say otherwise. It's time to get on Team Caleb. And by the way, Team Caleb pays $10 million a year, if you didn't know. This guy's making $10 million a year already. This is a guy that we have not yet seen in the NFL. We don't think, and by the way, there's questions coming out of college about a lot of different things that might be going on internally with Caleb Williams. We don't know any of that is true or not. We don't know any of that. Here's what we know. Caleb is confident enough that he can put on some kind of sari or something like that, and he can pose for pictures, or he can put on like a fishnet shirt and go out there because he's comfortable with who he is and doesn't have to prove to everybody, I'm a fucking man, bro. Here we are. And I mean, again, I don't look, I wanted to be Justin Fields. I would like for it to have been Justin Fields, but here we are. So let's just make the best of it. And I mean, basically bear down. And there we are. So, all right. I don't think that it sets us back. I don't think that it sets the team back. I don't think that, and like, I don't really think, I don't think one of the things that I've said, and I guess I'm going to have to go back and say this one more time. Justin Fields, Caleb Williams, at the end of this doesn't really matter. What matters is everybody around Justin Fields or Caleb Williams, right? It's no longer Justin Fields, it's now Caleb Williams. What matters is everybody around him, because most people are saying, and by the way, Justin Fields had better stats coming out of college. Caleb Williams doesn't have bad stats coming out of college on what is arguably a worse team. I mean, that's the logic that we would have to use, right? He makes quicker decisions. He's also a very good runner. Is he as good a runner as Justin Fields? No, but he's still not a bad scrambling quarterback. Like, there's nothing wrong fundamentally with Caleb Williams on anything that he does. He throws from over the top. He throws from the side. He's got great pocket presence. He does the little things that you want for him to be. The problem that I have, the problem that I have continued to have is, number one, I prefer Marvin Harrison Jr. The end. You know what I mean? Like that. To me, it feels like here's what it's going to feel like, right? Let's say that at the number 4 position, the Arizona Cardinals take Marvin Harrison Jr., which is probably what's going to end up happening. Caleb goes first, Drake May goes second. Maybe Jaden Daniels goes third, something like that. Maybe that's the play and the move right there, because New England's going to need a quarterback too. So if that happens, and it's the 4th pick, the Marvin Harrison Jr. goes, if that turns Kyler Murray into a monster player, and all of a sudden the Arizona Cardinals out of fucking nowhere become an elite team because they have this game-changing wide receiver, I'm going to say I told you so. But it's not going to do any good. You know what I mean? Like, and here's the thing, that doesn't have anything to do with whether Caleb Williams is good or bad. My preference would have been to trade down and take Marvin Harrison Jr. no matter what, because I think anybody can throw him the ball. So now we get, and by the way, I say this knowing that, in fact, there might be a situation in which they do still trade down and go to the number 3 or the number 2, and then they take, not Drake May, by the way, not Drake May, but they take Jaden Daniels. You know what I mean? Like, it may not be Caleb Williams by the time this is done. Hey, we also checked out Bo Nix, right, Maddie Eberflus? So, I mean, that's, in my opinion, the things that are happening right now are just there. There's no good finish, I don't think, for the Bears for me in this situation, because you can't fix, to me, the only way to fix your quarterback would be to trade down and take Marvin Harrison, and then at number 9 take like a JJ McCarthy. There's every once in a while Jaden Daniels slips down that far, so if you get Jaden Daniels, you get Jaden Daniels. Drake May and Caleb never seem to slip that far. But I mean, those are the guys. Those are the guys. So this is the team that we have to work with. So guys, I appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you so much. I know that this was a shock to the system, if you will, and a lot of you don't like this. And I know a lot of you do. Doesn't matter. The point is, at the end of this, we're all Bears fans. We want to see, many people tried to tell you that Justin's being traded. Well, of course they did. And of course we all know that. Like, nobody's oblivious to it. But, I'm running a show. And sometimes the show it requires me to support somebody. You know what I mean? You guys like you guys like Justin Fields. So I engage mostly with Justin Fields stuff. And I also think that Justin Fields represents a good option for the Bears. It just didn't work out. So that's okay. It's quite okay. None of it, I don't think any of us are shocked. None of us are shocked. Like, we all kind of knew it was coming. We're just hoping that it didn't. For those of us who like Justin Fields, we were just hoping that it didn't come to that. We were hoping that this was going to be one of those situations where we run it back, because we feel, and I think largely a lot of people are behind Justin because he's been good for the city of Chicago. And number 2, I think we did him kind of dirty, by not really like this was a horrible team. We drafted a quarterback to a horrible team that got worse and worse and worse as it went. And now that it's turned around, somebody else gets to drive. You know what I mean? Like we built a Cybertruck and somebody else gets to drive the Tesla, not the guy who owned it. But that's it. That's all it is. And look, if Justin Fields is a good enough player, he will find his way, right? He will find his way. And if he beats the Chicago Bears, if Pittsburgh, is on the and they end up beating or they like in the Super Bowl or just some wild shit like that, then to see Justin Fields celebrating, you guys might be happy. I'm going to be sad because I want the Bears to win. This is not about Justin Fields. It's about the Chicago Bears. But if he ends up becoming a great quarterback or somebody else and we end up losing to him in the Super Bowl or some kind of crazy shit like that, like I'm going to be like, oh man, God damn it. You know what I mean? Like how that absolutely sucks. Ryan Poles, the fuck out. But here's the thing. Then I would be overlooking the fact that Ryan Poles still built a team that got us there. So, I'm not really I'm not really going to be that upset about it. You know what I mean? So we'll see. But here we are. This is the new paradigm. Get ready. And I'm pretty sure that they were calling him King Caleb. So get used to King Caleb. I guess we got to come up with some kind of thing for Chicago, though. Like we really have to come up with I don't know, something. Caleb. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We got plenty of time. Maybe the last guy we thought we had 4 years. We only had 3. But Diva doesn't work. We got to support our guy. I mean, Caleb Williams is the guy. We got to support our guy. If Jaden Daniels is the guy, we got to support our guy. If JJ McCarthy is the guy, we got to support our guy. If Drake May is the guy, fuck Drake May. We're not going to support him. I'm just kidding. We got to support Drake May too. It doesn't really matter. Now, and by the way, anybody who's telling you that Drake May statistically is inferior to every other quarterback in this draft. So I don't know why people are saying it. If they're saying like, oh, fundamentally, it's gonna be like, I don't think so. King Caleb is the best thing that I've seen so far. But here's the thing. I don't know. That doesn't fit Chicago. That's you know what I mean? Like that doesn't fit Chicago. Like for example, Justin Fields. I mean, that's Soldier Fields. You know what I mean? Like that one has a perfect fit. I mean, he was literally named after a stadium. Not really, but you get it. So here's the thing. You're gonna have to get used to it because the new paradigm out here is Caleb Williams. And unfortunately, this means that I can't put Caleb in a dress anymore. I'm going to have to be on Team Caleb. We're going to have to support King Caleb. And we're going to have to see what happens with the Chicago Bears. So tomorrow I'll be on at 9:30 and we're going to be talking about the defense. And, hopefully we're going to fill some slots here because Dallas Turner, really like to get Dallas Turner. Really like to get Chris Jenkins, really like to get some defensive tackles in here and shore up this defense. The defense, don't get the Drake May hate, buddy. I don't really hate Drake May. I just play around about it because I don't see any reason statistically, by the way. Statistically, there's absolutely no reason to like Drake May. And if you're wondering, I actually did all 5 potential quarterbacks that were going to be starters for the Chicago Bears. And by every measure, Drake May is substandard to everybody else. There's no situation in which you look at those stats of Drake May and you say, yeah, this guy's better than all these other guys. There's no circumstance in which you do that. All you're doing right now is looking at that eye test and saying, well, he throws the ball like the way that I like. That's the best that you can do in that situation. There's no reason to say that Drake May is, Drake May stats. I'll play this round one time. So here's Drake May with his 63% completion ratio, which is not good enough for Caleb or for Justin Fields in the NFL. So how would it be that he has a 63% completion ratio in college, 24 touchdowns and 9 interceptions, and a quarterback rating of 149? Okay, so that's what we have right there. Now let's go pull up. Let's pull up King Caleb. Remember, 63%, 3,600 yards, 24-9. So let's pull up King Caleb. 68%, same amount of yards, 30 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions, and a rating of 170. I mean, it's clearly superior, right? That's clearly superior. And the year before, clearly superior. So now, who else have we got? Jaden Daniels. Let's look at Jaden Daniels. What does Jaden Daniels look like compared to both of those guys? 72% completions, 38 yards, 40 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and a 208 quarterback rating. Anybody telling you that they think Drake May is better than these two guys, they're not paying attention to the product on the field. That's not true. None of that is true. In the year before, Jaden Daniels, even though he wasn't, but he had 2,913 yards, 68.6, almost 70% completion rate. What about the other guy? The only other guy in that conversation is, of course, J.J. McCarthy. So what does J.J. McCarthy look like? Now, he would maybe be one of those statistical, he looks kind of like, nope, maybe. He's got a 72% completion, 10% higher completion rate, 3,000 yards passing, 22 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, a 167. So everybody has a better QBR than Drake May. Everybody has a better touchdown to interception ratio than Drake May. Everybody has a better completion rate than Drake May. There's just no way that Drake May is a better option. And the whole thing is, he could be. He could be the number 2 option. I mean, most people are saying that he's the number 2 option. But by the way, most people say that Caleb Williams should be drafted number 1. Drake May should be drafted number 2. Most people, by the way, said that Deshaun Watson and Mitchell Trubisky would be better quarterbacks than Patrick Mahomes, who didn't go until the 10th overall selection. Or no, he didn't go until the 10th selection. Not the second overall, but he was the second pick overall in quarterbacks. But he didn't go until the 10th position. So 30% of the league fucked around and found out the wrong side of Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I'm not making that up. So, like, when you tell me that there are people that like somebody, I'm not moved by that. I got to see the product on the field, and the product on the field doesn't look like look, if you're giving me, if I got to make a choice between these 4 guys, it's Caleb Williams the entire time. Number 2 is going to be Jaden Daniels the entire time. Number 3 is going to be J.J. McCarthy the entire time. And number 4 is going to be a distant 4 at Drake May. And it might even be Michael Penix at this point. Like, I just don't, I don't know that Drake May represents any of that stuff. You know what I mean? So, there we go. All right. Well, we can't do that. We got to support the Chicago Bears. So it's going to have to be, again, I'm not saying that they're going to draft Caleb Williams. If this is the path that they're taking, they don't have a quarterback now. So they should be drafting Caleb Williams. He is the best one available in the draft. So I'm going to say that's got to be the guy, right? Daniels had Malik Neighbors, who was almost always open. Right. I know we have excuses for everybody. I mean, we have excuses for why Jaden Daniels had everybody open. Caleb Williams was 7-5. Why was he better? He was 7-5. He lost a bunch of games. Why was JJ McCarthy better in a run first team? I mean, come on. So Caleb Williams is the guy. Oh shit. Dude. You know I had to do it, right? This is my last time being able to show Caleb wearing a dress, man. Now I gotta put him in. By the way, we do have Caleb gear, or at least somebody was able to throw out some Caleb in Bears gear out here somewhere. So I do have Caleb in a number 13 jersey. So that's the only one so far. So we'll see. But that's it, guys. That's it. Chicago Bears moved on from Justin Fields. Caleb Williams looks like he's the lock. This is the draft that we just did. I moved down only one spot, took Dallas Turner. I got and guys, Caleb Williams, Dallas Turner, Chris Jenkins. If you get that in the draft, our problems are solved anyway. I mean, the problem is edge rusher, the problem is defensive tackles, right? So there we go. So now you guys get used to Caleb Williams because he is now QB1. He may not be him, but he's high. In the H13 would be HIE, high. Caleb Williams is high. He may not be him, but he's high. So I guess that's what we're going to have to get used to. That's the new thing. There you go. That's it for now. So you guys take care, and let's play some music, and you guys rock out for just a few minutes, and then we'll see you guys tomorrow. We're going to be talking about the defense tomorrow. I can't wait till Friday. Everybody's getting